Hare Krishna, everyone. Greetings from South India. Which I can tell you a bit more about later. Okay. So, hopefully I have a good connection. I'm told this is a good connection, and so we're hoping for the best. And we will see. Okay. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri-gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya-manobhishtam Stapitam yena bhutale Svayam rupa kadamahyam Dadati svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutta-pada-kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatang Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam sri-radha-krsna-pada-kamale Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanditanscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpataru Kripa-sindhuvya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namo He Krishna koruna-jalasindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome again to Saturday Sanga. Sounds very subversive, Saturday Sanga. Thank you all for joining from all the different places you are. I see Esther here from Pula. Hare Krishna. Nice. And Yashodarani ist auch da. And Simantadvip is also there, but he's a little bit hiding. And oh, Divya Darshini and Rama Avatar are there. They're going through a bit of a drama in Rijeka right now. I don't know what's the latest news there, if they want to tell. But yeah. And yeah, lots of devotees who like to keep behind the curtain, so to speak. I suppose that's okay. Speaking of behind the curtain, that's kind of what I've been writing an article about now. The problem of divine hiddenness. It's a problem in the philosophy of religion. And I'm making an attempt to address it with Bhagavad Gita. Okay, let's look, shall we, at the next Bhaktivinoda Thakur song, which is somewhere here. Here it is. Sri-radha-krsna-pada-kamale mono from Ucchvasa Vijnapti song number 4 from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Kalyana Kalpataru. And I think I've mentioned this before, but Kalyana Kalpataru, as I remember, is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's first collection of songs. For some reason, the year 1874 is in my mind, but that would be the year that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur was born. So I don't know if they're in the same year. Something to research. Sri-radha-krsna-pada-kamale mono kemone lobhibe charama cirodina koriya o-carana asho HH basiya odamadasa. Hey Radhe, hey Krishna-candra bhakta-pran, Hamare jugala-bhakti korodan, bhakti-hina bolo nakoro upekka, murkha-jane deho gane, jnana-susiksa. Vishaya pipasa-prapidita deho adhikar jugala-bilase. And then he goes into a different form, different meter. Cancala-jibana-srota pravahiya kaler shagare dai, gelo jedivas na asibe ara, ebe Krishna ki upai. And then a strange 3-line verse. Tumi patita-janer bandhu, Jani he tomare nata tumito koruna-jalasindhu. And then Ami bhagya-hina atti arbachin na jani bhakati-lesa nicha gune nata koro atma-shato guchaya bhava klesha. Siddha-deha-diya Vrindavana maje sevamrita korodana payai prema korimore shunoni jagunagana jugala sevae sri-rashamandale nijukta koro amae lolita shakir ajogo kinkori binoda doriche pai. O mind, tell me how I can possibly attain ultimate refuge at the lotus feet of Sri-Radha-Krishna. This most fallen servant has been living for a very long time, being desirous of those lotus feet. O Radhe, O Krishna-candra, the very life of your devotees, please give devotion unto yourself in charity to this fallen sinner. Please do not neglect me because I am devoid of devotion. Therefore, kindly give your most auspicious instructions to this fool. Your servant is very much diseased with the thirst for material sense gratifications, so he's asking you to kindly give him the capacity to assist in your divine conjugal pastimes. This flickering life is slowly drifting away, flowing onward into the ocean of time. So many days have gone by, more will not come. So now I am wondering, what is the means to get your dear Lord Krishna? O Lord, I know that you are the dearmost friend of the fallen souls. Indeed, you are a veritable ocean of compassion. I am most unfortunate, backward, and inexperienced, for I do not understand even a tiny fraction of devotion. But by virtue of your own good qualities, O Lord, make me your very own beloved, and thus put an end to all of my worldly afflictions. Giving me a spiritual body within the transcendental realm of Vrindavana, bestow upon me the nectar of your service. Thus I will become madly intoxicated with pure love by drinking the nectar of such service. Just hear this song about your own divine qualities. Please engage me in rendering confidential services within the circle of the divine rasa mandala. Thus, Bhaktivinoda, the unworthy maidservant of Sri Lalita Shaki, is catching hold of your feet under her guidance. Quite some appeal by Bhaktivinoda Thakura, expressing desire for nothing less than jugala seva in the rasa mandala. Nijukta koro amai. Lalita sakir ayogya kinkuri. And interesting, he's identifying himself as a servant of Lalita Saki. Yeah, I also was struck by verse 5. Your servant is very much diseased with the thirst for material sense gratification. How does that? Bishai pipasa-prapidita dase. So prapidita can mean something like tortured. Vishaya, sense objects. Pipas, I guess, would mean tasting or relishing. I was just reviewing the list of the forms of anishtita bhakti given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And one of them is Vishaya Sangara. And so I looked up Sangara, and well, the meaning that's given is swallowing. So Vishaya Sangara, being swallowed, literally being swallowed up by the sense objects. It's translated otherwise as struggling with the senses, I think. So, but being swallowed by the senses, or here, Vishaya pipasa-prapidita. Kuvalaya Pida is the name of the elephant that is killed by Krishna. Before he kills Kamsa, he kills Kuvalaya Pida, which means one who tramples on Kuvalaya, which I think is one of the many, many words for lotus. So one who stamps on lotus flowers is an elephant. Kuvalaya Pida. So Pida, Pidita, trampled on by the taste for the senses. But then, Deho Adhikar jugala-bilase. So even though I have so much trouble with the senses, I'm asking you, oh Lord, please give me Deha. Deha apostrophe, what would that be? I don't know. Dehawa, maybe. Adhikar, give me the adhikar, give me the qualification, which Dasharat Sutta perhaps translated as capacity to assist you in your divine conjugal pastime. Of course, we pray in the Gurvashtakam prayers. Nikunja yuno rati keli sidya yayali viryuktir apekshaniya tatra atidaksha ati valavasya vande guroshi charanaravinda. Ati daksha, very expert. The spiritual master is expert at making arrangements. So for the pleasure of Radha and Krishna, and so one of the expertise he may provide is that we may eventually also get the adhikar to participate. Seems like that's what he's saying. All right, I won't go through the whole song, I think, word by word and so on. Verse 3, though, Hey Radhe, Hey Krishna-candra, bhakta-pran, pamare jugala-bhakti koradan. He's calling out, Hey Radhe, O Radha, O Krishna-candra, you're the life of your devotees. You are bhakta-pran. Please give devotion unto yourself in charity to this fallen sinner. Pamara means fallen person. Jugala-bhakti koro dan. Dan is charity. So, but this is an interesting expression, jugala-bhakti. The devotion to the pair, yugala, means a pair too. So of course, Radha and Krishna, pamare, jugala-bhakti koroda. Or make charity of jugala-bhakti to this fallen one. So that's nice. Okay, it just so happens that I have a harmonium here. And the reason I have a harmonium here is only because someone in the ISKCON Kochi, which used to be called Cochin, it's now Kochi, gave Niranjan Swami this harmonium to borrow it while he is here. Niranjan Swami is also here, as is Bhaktivinoda Swami, and as is Damodar Swami, and there are some brahmacharis, some Russian brahmacharis. Okay, let's see what we can do. Sri-radha-krsna-pada-kamale kemone lobhibe charama Sri-radha-krsna-pada-kamale mana kemone lobhibe charama cirodina koriya o-carana basiya adamada cirodina koriya o-carana basiya adamada. Hey Radhe, Hey Krishna, Chandra bhakta-pran, amare jugala-bhakti koroda. Hey Radhe, Hey Krishna, Hey Radhe, Hey Krishna, Chandra bhakta-pran, amare jugala-bhakti koroda. Bhakti-hina boli na koro murkha-jane deha jnana-susiksa. Bhakti-hina boli na koro murkha-jane deha jnana-susiksa. Isaya pipasa-prapidita dase deho adhika jugala-bilase. Isaya pipasa-prapidita dase deho adhika jugala-bilase. Okay, now we change. Cancala-jibana-srota prabhahiya kale shagareda. Cancala-jibana Srota Prabhahi Kalar Sagerada Gelo Jedi Basa Na Asibe Ere Krishna Kiyukara Gelo Jedi Basa Na Asibe Ere Krishna Kiyukara. And then Tumi patita-janer bandhu Jani hai tomare nata Tumi patita-janer bandhu Jani hai tomare nata Tumi to koruna-jalasindhu Tumi to koruna-jalasindhu Ami bhagya-hina Ati arvachina Najani bhakati-lesa Ami bhagya-hina Ati arvachina Najani bhakati-lesa Nijagune nata Koro atmasata Guchaya bhava klesha Nijagune nata Koro atmasata Guchaya bhava klesha Siddhadeha Vrindavana mache Sevamrita koroda Siddhadeho diya Vrindavana mache Sevamrita koroda Piyaya prema Matta kori mora Suno nija gunaga Pijaya prema Matta kori mora Suno nija gunaga jugala-bhakti Shirasamangale Nija Nijukta Koro Ama Jugala-bhakti Shirasamangala Nijukta Koro Ama Lalita Sakya Ajoga Kinkori Vinoda Dori Chepa Lalita Sakya Ajoga Kinkori Vinoda Dori Chepa Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Bol, Hare Bol. You can take this now. I'm finished right now. And now we have a surprise guest for a few moments. His Holiness Bhaktivinoda Goswami Maharaj ki jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So there will be problem there? There will be bhajans today?
I guess so. I told Niranjan Maharaj he can anytime come pick this up after 6 o'clock. So.
Okay, I can take it.
Okay, the cover is there. Wait. I have to do this first. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We have a little gathering of bhajans otherwise at this, not at this time, soon after this. Whoops. You're okay? Okay. Yeah, starting 2 days ago, we've been having bhajans in the yoga hall here at this, what they call a hospital, but it doesn't at all feel like a hospital. Ayurvedic hospital. It's more like heavenly planets here. Amazingly beautiful place in the forest with wonderful weather, t-shirt weather. It gets really cold here at night. It gets all the way down to 20 degrees. Anyway, yeah, and really so nice people, and so well organized. The whole program here, very, very professional. It's a good program. I'm feeling already better after only 1 week. They say that one should do this treatment for minimum 3 weeks. So they say it won't really benefit if it's less than 3 weeks. So, okay, I decided I surrender. So I scheduled 3 weeks to be here. And I've been here 1 week and feeling better. Good. So, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura ki jai. What are we doing today? I don't have a big plan myself. We can do some show and tell. I believe, Tade Zevnik, you have something to show and to tell, isn't it? Tade from Slovenia, is it from Celi? There he is.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tade.
I am from Ljubljana.
You're from Ljubljana, okay. 1 second, I'm just going to get my water bottle. Okay. So, tell us something interesting. I think he's going to show us something on the share screen.
I don't hear much.
You don't hear much?
Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Aha, okay, now I hear it.
Now you hear. Okay, well,
okay, I didn't recognize that it's connected on
okay,
AirPlugs.
we're all
Hare Krishna, dear Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances and to all assembled devotees. I'm in the temple in Ljubljana, so greetings from here.
And you had something you wanted to show, to share with us?
Yes, Chaitanya-charitamrita Mataji recommend that we can share the project Tadik show. We created some really nice video about Sankirtan and Harinam now when this Prabhupada's marathon were here. So it was really nice. And Chaitanya-charitamrita Mataji, if you can just say you want to show this, or
what do you prefer? You can introduce everything before a video or after video. It's up to you. Just say. What do you prefer?
Okay. I will just little introduce. Tadik show is a show where I interview devotees. This idea come when I speak with one devotee, with Kirtida Nandini Mataji, and she explained to me that she has a dream. She had a dream when Prabhupada told her something, and then I recognized, oh, then it starts to preach, and then we create this interview, and there was a lot of views, likes, and comments, and this is how it started. And then Sharada Tilaka Mataji create a web page and also a lot of banners for introducing devotees. So big thanks to her. So this somehow happened. Krishna arranged, and a lot of people who never been in temple or even not in Krishna consciousness, when I meet them, they say, wow, this is so great, just keep doing this. So I want from guests invite how they find Krishna consciousness, how they start, and how this influence on their life, so that they can share these stories, and it's really nice. Yeah.
Very good. So, okay, so this is video, which you prepare, and then what? You post it on YouTube or where?
On this page is on Facebook page. I also posted on YouTube today. I open YouTube to start also on YouTube.
Good.
Yes, I can share the link in the comment. Now we can.
Well, the comments are probably all in Slovenian language, aren't they?
Comments?
You said you can share the comments, but I'm saying if the comments are all in Slovenian language, that
I can share the link from this video in the comment here in Zoom. This I meant, sorry for my English.
I see. Okay. Yeah. All right.
So, yeah, we can play now.
Okay, just a second.
Lepo pozdravljeni. Danes vam bomo pokazali, kako je, ko ekipa za zavest Krišne, Hare Krishna članov, gre v Harinam in Sankirtan, kjer delijo piškotke, knjige in pojejo sveto ime. In danes je že z nami Lila Šuka po imenu Luka. Evo, dobrodošel, pa boš kar povedal, zakaj to počneš in kaj je tvoja realizacija.
Ja, prva stvar je, zakaj to počnem, ker je to fajna, ne? Greš on, poješ, plešiš, ne? Pa še malo žurke zraven naredimo, ne? Se radi malo žuriramo, pa vdagaš, tako da mi hočemo narediti tako duhovno žurko, duhovno party.
Evo, in z nami je že Kalindi, ki je ena najmlajših danes v bistvu v Harinamu. Kaj tebi daje inspiracijo in kaj tvoja realizacija, da greš takole v center knjige deliti?
Ja, torej, že kot zelo majhna smo hodili na Hariname in tako da mi je to že prav domače, dober je, kako vidiš, da so ljudje pozitivni, da radi vzamejo. Tako da pač hočem nekako priti ven pa pomagati, da bi tudi oni spoznali, zakaj so zares tukaj in kaj je smisel življenja.
Glede na to, da je že skoraj cel mesec maratona za nami, kaj je bila kakšna tvoja realizacija, ki bi jo podelil z nami?
Moja realizacija je tako kot vsako leto, da enostavno je res zelo pomembno, da gremo ven enostavno in da vsakemu omogočimo, da se sreča s tem. Zdaj tudi ne glede na to, kaj ljudje, kakšna moja prepričanja. In moja realizacija je, da enostavno, ko pridejo v stik, zdaj ne vsi, ampak zelo veliko ljudi enostavno se tako kar happy so.
Kar happy?
Ja, tako kar enostavno kar začnejo plesati, tako spremenijo razpoloženje, se začnejo smejati in to je tudi dokaz, da v bistvu te mantre zelo dobro vplivajo naša zavest, ne glede na to, verjamemo v to ali ne.
Hello, and here with me is Mukunda Madhava Prabhu from Romania, and I have a question for him. What is your realization in this marathon?
So I'm doing this because at one point I got some book. I read this Bhagavad-gita,
Yeah.
and it changed my life. I was a normal person, so now I'm a crazy monk, Hare Krishna monk. Why I'm doing? Because I have to pay it forward. You know, like I have some debt to Srila Prabhupada who gave these books. So I'm trying to give this to as many people as possible. Even you have some good days, some bad days. But if you keep going, your life will be better. You'll just purified. After a few days, you'll have tough days, and after these tough days, you'll be like so much in bliss, you know, like because you get purified. And you're like, good, now I'm feeling good. People take, don't take, no problem.
Ti deliš enormno število knjig na terenu, pa me zanima, kje najdeš motivacijo in kaj te inspirira?
Kje najdem motivacijo? Vsak dan jo nosimo v rokah, ne?
Aha.
To je najboljša motivacija. Če bereš te knjige vsak dan, ne? Če mantraš pridno, ne? Če smo pridni v naši sadani, v naših duhovnih procesih, imamo avtomatsko moč, duhovno moč, da lahko delimo te knjige. So pa velika inspiracija tudi drugi bhakte, kateri nam pomaga, ko vidimo, če se družimo, asociacija je zelo pomembna pri teh zadevah.
Super, povej nam, kaj je tvoja realizacija v tem maratonu?
V tem maratonu je realizacija, da je treba biti zelo reguliran, kot naš guru velikokrat reče, treba, da imamo urejeno življenje, ne? Vsak dan vstajati ob isti uri, vsak dan brati knjige, kot sem že povedal. In druga realizacija pa je, da so ljudje okoli Božiča, okoli praznikov zelo radodarni, zelo velikodušni, zelo prijazni, bolj kot druge mesece v letu. Ker kar damo, to dobimo nazaj, ne? Če delimo dobro voljo, to dobimo tudi nazaj, vidimo, veliko ljudi je prijaznih do nas, nas podbuja. Marsikdo reče, da še naj kar naprej to delamo, se zahvaljuje za to delo, ne?
Evo, z nami je Sonja Datri Mataji. Zate imam eno vprašanje, ali pa dva.
Morda tri.
Ajde. Kaj tebe dajejo harinami, zakaj hodiš v harinami, zakaj si se odločila za to?
Najprej zaradi tega, ker sem že kot mlada punca bi rada plesala po ulicah, breakdance in tak naprej, pa niso mi dovolili. In zdaj Krišna mi je izpolnil želje, da lahko plešem po ulicah. In ko sem začela plesati po ulicah, sem videla, kako lahko s tem petjem in plesom ostalim tudi pričaramo neko božanske energije in potem, ko še zveš, da vsako živo bitje, ki sliši to sveto ime in vidi bhakte, dobi milost, je pa to vrhunec vsega.
Evo, kot vidite vzadej, bhakte pojejo, plešajo, delijo knjige, delijo prasadam, piškotke, da bi dosegali čim več pozitivnih ljudi, ker želijo to notranjo srečo deliti tudi z drugim. Domen je lepo povedal včeraj, ko smo delili knjige, da sreča prihaja od znotraj, ne moremo jo kupiti. Zato bhakte srtujejo svoj čas in služijo Krišni in vsem ljudem, da bi razdelili to znanje, da se dotaknejo naših src. In vsi tisti, ki gledate ta video, ne pozabite všečkati, deliti in pa followati naše kanale, zato da lahko še naprej širimo tako pozitivne vsebine. Ok, z nami je gospodična Maša.
Hello.
Evo, jaz imam eno vprašanje zate. Tukaj le stojiva, pa vidimo, da ljudje plešajo, pojejo. Ti je všeč, kako kaj slišiš to, kaj čutiš?
Jaz ful potujem po Indiji, tako da mi je to zelo blizu, tako da mi je pri srcu. Rada imam te ritme.
Wow, the best. Ful ti hvala.
Nekaj.
Lepo se mej. A si daj bila, še eno vprašanje, a si daj že bila v stiku s kakšnim Hare Krishna menikom?
Tudi en zelo naš dober prijatelj je v Hare Krishna. Sicer ne vem te ljubljanske, slovenske scene, ampak načeloma vem.
A res?
Ja.
Wow, the best, zato ti je tako všeč. Super.
Ja, cool, hvala.
Lepo se mej.
Tukaj dobiš ta občutek, da res ni važno, kdo si, kaj si. Važen je ta odnos s Krišno, sveto ime, ki te popelje do Krišne. Seveda, čim bolj čisto poješ, bolj si povezan s Krišno. Ampak vseeno, ta občutek radosti, povezanosti je tisto, kar privlači pri svetem imenu.
Evo, z nami je Bhagavadharma Prabhu. Povej nam, zakaj ti hodiš v hariname in kaj ti sveto ime, kaj zate pomeni sveto ime?
Harinami so v bistvu juga dharma, se pravi proces za to dobo. Gospod Chaitanya je s tem razširil ljubezen do Boga in naš namen je, da se držimo tega njegovega zgleda in napotkov in ravno tako gremo med ljudi in jim skušamo prinesti ljubezen do Krišne v njihovo srce.
Kaj pa je v tvojem življenju se zgodilo, da si rekel, ok, to pa je prava pot, to je pot, ki jo bom sledil?
Mislim, jaz sem se že prej tako me je Bog nagovoril, že znotraj krščanstva in potem se pravi Padove knjige mi razširile obzorje, če se tako izrazim. da sem dosti lažje razumel tudi Jezusov nauk in sem uvidel, da je to v bistvu ni neka verska pot, neka veroizpoved, ampak je znanost o tem, kako se v ljubečem odnosu povezati z Bogom.
Letos sem se tudi sam pridružil maratonu, probal sem biti skoraj vsak dan in od tega sem bil 95% od dni siguren. In moram povedati, da moje realizacije so naslednje. Dojel sem, kaj pomeni vztrajnost skozi deljenje knjig, večkrat tudi v umu stanja za njih, pa nas že prepriča, pa da je dosti, pa danes ni dober dan, pa tako naprej. Pa v bistvu potem spustiš, pa si rečeš, pa saj jaz ne delim knjige, se jih Krišna skozi nas deli. Tako da ta maraton je bil zame tudi nekaj posebenega, zato ker sem šel preko sebe in srečal ogromno zanimivih ljudi. Dostikrat sem jih vprašal, kje se skriva prava sreča. Pa nekateri rečejo, večina reče v družini, nekateri doma, nekateri v hrani. Redki pa so tisti, ki rečejo v srcu, ali pa znotraj sebe, ali pa v duši, ali pa v Bogu, ali pa kakorkoli. In mi je res v zadovoljstvo srečati take ljudi, ker potem je tudi lažje knjige podeliti, debato razviti in tudi navezati nek stik.
I get inspiration because I feel there's a lot of people, like I said, who are looking for Krishna, you know. So we have to go out and we have to meet, because I meet a lot of nice people in Ljubljana. And for example, like today I met this really nice lady and she said that she was very depressed, and you know, she had this famous question that we have, that why bad things happen to good people. So that really clicked me that time, and then I explained her the karma and the whole thing, and she took the books and she gave me the donation, you know. So there are people who are suffering a lot, and most of them actually accept the books, you know. But you know, even if people can come to the program, even if they start a little bit, you know, Krishna really helps, and little by little, if they do, they can make some progress, at least in their spiritual life. So mostly younger people, they take shelter in wrong things like drugs and all the nonsense, you know, but it doesn't really help, because it makes one worse than actually helping, you know. But if one takes shelter in spiritual life, then that can really, even a little bit of spiritual life, of Krishna consciousness, actually helps people a lot, can actually save one from great dangers.
Evo, naš večer je prišel do konca in takole zgleda, ko grejo bakte v Sankirtan, ko delijo knjige, pojejo sveto ime, delijo piškotke, srečujejo pozitivne ljudi, plešajo, se veselijo in ob tem je neizmerna energija, blažena energija. Tu noter v prsih se čuti notranji mir, veselje, radost. Vsi tisti, ki vas je to inspirirali, lahko obiščete tempelj na Žibertovi 27, kjer boste tudi izvedeli več, zakaj ljudje to počnejo in kje se skriva prava sreča. Da ne pozabim ponovno, podprite nas z všečkom, pritisnite na všeček, se pravi share in pa subscribe, da podprete naš kanal, da lahko še naprej ustvarjamo tako super vsebine in da to doseže čim več ljudi. Evo, jaz vam želim vse dobro in en lep vstop v novo leto. Srečno!
Bravo! Well done, well done. I'm curious how long it took you to prepare post-production and the whole thing.
This 2 days, about
Really?
10 hours.
The whole thing you did in 10 hours. That's amazing. That's
Just post-production. Every material we made before.
Yeah, no, the recording and so on, it takes its time, but then the post-production is usually the big headache. But I guess nowadays they're making it easier with programs. Nice. Well, let it increase. Do some more like this. I think you have a talent for being like a Hare Krishna reporter. You can do all sorts of things like that. That'll be nice. That can attract a lot of so many people. I was thinking toward the beginning with all the images and sounds of the kirtan and so on. And at the same time, you're doing the interviews. So it's a nice over blending. And what I was thinking is that that can be attractive to people who they see and they hear the Harinam on the streets and they think, what's that about? And they don't want to get too close because, you know, it's kind of strange and there's so many reasons one may sort of shy away. So your film allows a person to get up, in a sense, very close, both visually and also by hearing from the different devotees. So it's very powerful, and it's a very nice way to kind of attract people. Good. Thank you. Right, so what else? Anyone else have something you want to share? You mentioned Kirtida Nandini as inspiring. Was it Kirtida Nandini? You inspired him to do the film, was it? Yeah, you can unmute yourself. Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisance. I didn't know for that. Yeah, we made some videos who were very, people were very attracted, and they heard that there were a lot of positive vibes, but that's all work from today. So I didn't have nothing to do it. So yeah, we just made a video how I came a devotee, how was Krishna in my life, and people really want to listen to that. So it was very, I would say, they really loved it. So he just go up then by himself.
Yeah. No, that was the other thing I wanted to say is I think a lot can be done with devotees telling their story, how I became a Hare Krishna, because that can also attract people thinking, oh, well, yeah, I guess maybe I could kind of relate. I was in a similar situation. Yeah, no, it brings the devotees close to people in a way that they otherwise don't experience. It brings out also that devotees are persons and devotees are individuals, because the first impression most people get is, you know, we're kind of all the same and maybe we're all brainwashed or whatever. So yeah. Nice, very good. Okay. Who else? What else? How else? Any news from Beijing, Prema Sarovara?
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
All we hear about from China now is about COVID. That's practically all that we hear nowadays. So, are you able to make any progress on translation?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. Actually, sorry, very slowly. I make progress.
Anyway,
step by step.
Step by step, huh?
Yes, Guru Maharaj.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. And your father is there, I saw before.
Yes. Now he's falling asleep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's late there, isn't it?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. And Guru Naharaj is prepare something in the kitchen.
Hare Krishna, Guru Naharaj. Yeah. Now you all get to see a real Chinese kitchen.
Yes, Guru. Tomorrow there will be 2 devotees coming to our home.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
Yes. My student and her mother.
Oh, good.
I teach my students some Sanskrit verses in Bhagavad-gita and English.
Oh,
every Sunday.
Very good.
We have prasadam together.
Good. Very nice.
When you come here, Guru Naharaj will cook you some special Chinese food.
Okay.
Okay, good.
I look forward to it.
Yes, we look forward to your coming. Okay, thank you so much, Guru Naharaj. So nice to see you.
Yeah, let's see. Who else? What else? Okay, we have a question from, this could only be from Avaduta Rai, otherwise known as Bhakti Sanga. Okay. Dear Guru Maharaj, my Dandavats from far away, how dangerous it is that the disciple have other opinion based on Shastra from the Shastric opinion of Guru. There are some examples in opinions of Jiva and Vishwanath, or between Madhvas and Gaudiya Siddhantas, etc. Well, you use the word opinion, and I don't know if that's the best word to use when we're talking about our acharyas. At least in English, the word opinion has a connotation of something which is, how to say, I have my opinion, you have your opinion, we all have our opinions. I think this, you think that. And so we might want to be a little cautious about using that with regard to our acharyas, the commentators on our shastras. And we should also be cautious with regard to guru and the notion of opinion. But okay, this is kind of a bigger topic, but there's been a lot of discussion, and there's one, I would say, quite nicely done article by one devotee scholar who is making distinction that when the guru is speaking Shastra, then that's not opinion, that's Shastra. And the guru's field of expertise, shall we say, is Shastra. When the guru talks about other things going on in the world, things about which one may have different opinions, then of course we want to listen and take seriously, and we may want to reflect how what the Guru says applies to us and how it applies in relation to Shastra. In other words, how it can be supportive of our understanding from Shastra. The problem comes when we take something of mundane knowledge, which perhaps the Guru has commented on based on his or her own cultural background and so on, and sort of extract it and take it out of context and miss the point, or if we're not expert to see what is how to properly appreciate what the Guru says. So this comes up because Prabhupada made a lot of statements, comments, especially he would say in a conversation, sometimes in a morning walk, and then all of that was recorded, and then you go back and you read all of that, and some of the things he would say are hard to reconcile with the vision which he gives us of the aim of spiritual life, which is, and this is something that my godbrother Garuda Prabhu has nicely explained in an article in the new Journal of Vaishnava Studies. Prabhupada's one single, if you boil down all that he said to what is his one mission, what is it he wants to get across? He wants to teach love of God. That's all. It's all about how to cultivate, how to practice, how to realize love of God. That's the whole point. And everything else is secondary, or maybe not even secondary. Maybe it's tertiary. Maybe it's even not really a point to not even try to connect to that point. At the same time, we understand acharyas are fully absorbed in Krishna bhakti, but they may say things which are very context specific. So we have to be careful. But back to the question of Avadhuta Rai, we see different opinions in the acharyas, in their comments in Shastra. First thing I would say is just appreciate, oh, this is interesting. Here's one perspective, and here's another perspective. And they're both from Vaishnavas, and they're both having the same purpose, the same goal, and having the same message. And here is some sort of variation on this. And we can just appreciate there can be, in so many things, there can be more than one perspective. And maybe the problem is, I was just reading about this today. Let me get this back if I can find it. Oh, bear with me. No, it's not going to be there. Is it going to be there? No, it'll be here. Oh, that, what was it? Oh, trying to remember. Let's see if that will get it. Thank you. Oops. Okay, it's always like this when you're looking for something. Let's do it this way. Principle of contradiction. Law, it's a law of non-contradiction. Okay. Yeah, the law of non-contradiction. So this is understood from our Western tradition as a kind of fundamental law of thinking called the law of non-contradiction. And what is the law of non-contradiction? In logic, says contradictory propositions cannot both be true in the same sense at the same time. Contradictory propositions cannot both be true in the same sense at the same time. Okay, that sounds good. Problem is, when we encounter all things related to Krishna Bhakti, it seems like we get all manner of contradictions that are simultaneously true. Krishna is simultaneously, inconceivably present and not present in the world, for example. But without going into that, just I would start with appreciating that acharyas may have different perspectives on something, and yes, they can both be true, or more than two. There can be three or four. Of course, without examples, it's hard to say much more than that. You give example of Madhva and Gaudiya Siddhantas. Well, it depends how you want to deal with them. We can emphasize the difference, and sometimes we do. And one can also emphasize the commonality, and sometimes we do that. The followers of Madhvacharya worship Krishna. We worship Krishna. Gaudiya Vaishnavas worship Krishna. Lord Chaitanya visited the followers of Madhva, referred to as the Tattvavadis, and was not so inspired by them. He felt that they're not getting to what Lord Chaitanya is getting. And of course, Lord Chaitanya, we understand, is Krishna. He's teaching Krishna prema, and he is himself experiencing Krishna prema in the mood of Krishna's devotee. And he perceived that the Tattvavadis were not getting it. Well, on the other side, Bhaktivinoda Thakur identifies, I never remember which two, there's two principles that were contributed, so to say, by each of the four sampradayas. They were, so to say, adopted by Lord Chaitanya. It may be deity worship that was adopted from the Madhvas. So yeah, we can look at differences. But when we look at differences, what is our purpose? I think we want to, step back and ask ourselves, what is our purpose? It's an interesting question. I remember, I've maybe mentioned this sometime, reading in the introduction maybe, of a translation from a work by one of the previous acharyas in the Madhva line. I don't remember which one, which is a very strong polemic against Advaitavada. And with lots of very powerful arguments. But the translator raises the interesting question in his introduction. He says, all right, so let us assume that the author of this work is writing from full realization. He has realized difference. He has realized, because the Madhvas are all about difference, Dvaitavadi. But now let's look at Shankaracharya. And can we not assume that he has also written, spoken, preached from realization, from full realization of the non-difference, the Advaita position. So if they're both speaking from realization, then what does that mean? I hope this doesn't cut off our internet. No, it looks like it's still there. We just lost electricity. Guess it'll come back. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, beyond that, of course, one can examine very specific differences and see what can be made of them. But I would just say the starting point for us is simply to say, oh, very interesting. Look at this difference. And then we might see, is there some point of commonality? What are the unspoken presuppositions, and what are the implications? Are there any big implications of the difference? Because if there are no big implications, then why worry about it? Okay, that's my comment on that. Right, what else? Who else wants to share something? Anything? No? Okay. Well, we can read. I was, because we're going to be having this retreat at Govardhan in not so many days from now. How many days? Today's the 7th. It's in about 1 month. We're having this Govardhan retreat. Some of you are coming. I think it's good to sort of warm up to Govardhan. And therefore, what I was thinking is let's continue reading from Chaitanya-charitamrita, but I want to jump. We were reading from Adi Lila chapter 10. Now, I thought, why not? Let's see if I can find, where are we? Okay, first I have to get this ready. Hold on. No, not that one. Yes, this one. Yes, okay. And where are we here? Google Chrome. Yeah, that must be it. Is that it? No. That's weird. Well, let's see what this does. Oh, there it is. Okay. Good. Okay. Yes, Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita-chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita-chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta-vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Dvaita-chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta-vrinda. I thought we can read from Chaitanya-charitamrita Madhya Lila, chapter 17. This is the chapter, the first of 2 chapters describing Mahaprabhu's visit to Vrindavan, which includes his visit to Govardhan, Radha Kund. He discovers Radha Kunda in the beginning of chapter 18. And then he goes to Govardhan. So, but leading up to that, we have Lord Chaitanya going through the forest of Jarikanda and on his way to Vrindavan. And that's, I'm skipping over the Jarikanda story. Famously, Lord Chaitanya gets all the forest animals to chant and dance in ecstasy. So just after this, Nama Prema Diya Koila Shobharanistar Chaitanya Gurdhalila Chite Shaktikar. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave even the beals an opportunity to chant the holy name and come to the platform of ecstatic love. Thus he delivered all of them. Who has the power to understand the transcendental pastimes of the Lord? Shobar Nistar, he delivered everyone. Koila Shobar Nistar. Gudha Lila, confidential pastimes. So that's interesting that this is identified with confidential pastimes. We usually think, okay, confidential gudha, so that's referring to when Lord Chaitanya is with his very confidential associates like Ramananda Rai, Swarup Damodar, and in that association, he's relishing Srimad Bhagavatam and becoming overwhelmed in Krishna prema ecstasy in a very private sort of way. That we usually think of as confidential pastimes, but here Krishnadas Kaviraj is referring to Lord Chaitanya in the forest with the Beals. Who are the Beals? The Beals is one tribe in India, B-H-I-L-S, Beals. And he's meeting these tribals. And he's speaking with them and convincing them to chant Hare Krishna. And that is confidential. That is Gudha Lila. Prabhupada, this is a purport, a short one. As evidence of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we are experiencing that the people of Africa are taking to Krishna consciousness, chanting and dancing and taking prasadam like other Vaishnavas. This is all due to the power of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Who can understand how his potency is working all over the world? So here's an example. This is interesting because this is an example where I think we could safely say that Srila Prabhupada had a certain prejudice about African people, Black people, and this was shared, I was reading, by Gandhi, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, better known as Mahatma Gandhi, was in South Africa, and someone has written on this that, you know, we usually wouldn't think of this, but Gandhi was he had very negative opinions of the Africans. And when he was put in prison, when Gandhi was put in prison, he was put in prison with Black Africans in the same cell, I guess. And he was shocked. He didn't know what to think. I mean, after some time, I think he reflected and, you know, came to understand, well, what is my position? What is my understanding? Anyway, but Srila Prabhupada, this was a cultural thing that Africans, Prabhupada would not expect, so to say, that Africans would take to Krishna consciousness. And he's pointing out that just see the power of this Krishna consciousness, that even Africans are taking it. And then he's connecting that to Mahaprabhu's pastimes in converting the meals, inspiring the meals to take. That's interesting. Monadeki Brahm hoy, e Vrindavan, Shailadeki Mone hoy, e Govardhan. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed through the Jharikanda forest, he took it for granted that it was Vrindavan. When he passed over the hills, he took it for granted that they were Govardhan. So Lord Chaitanya was, he was in intense devotional mood as he was traveling, such that he is seeing Vrindavan. He's on his way to Vrindavan, So on some level, he understands he's not in Vrindavan. Otherwise, why would he be traveling to Vrindavan? At the same time, he's feeling that he's already in Vrindavan. So this would be an example of, we might want to say, going against the law of non-contradiction. In Bhakti Bhava. So he's anticipating Vrindavan by seeing himself as being in Vrindavan before he gets to Vrindavan. There's some sort of logic there. Jahanadi dakketaha manaye kalindi mahapremaveshe nache prabhu pade handi. Similarly, whenever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw a river, he immediately accepted it as the river Yamuna. Thus, while in the forest, he was filled with great ecstatic love, and he danced and fell down crying. Okay. So Nadi means river. And Kalindi, of course, is a name for Yamuna. Kalindi Yamuna Jaya, Jaya Mahabhat. Mahaprema Veshe. So, Avesha, we've talked about this sometimes, can mean possession. The verbal root vish in Sanskrit, to enter, from which we have Vishnu and from which we have Vaishnava and so on. And then Avesha is, you can say, intense entry, or full entry, complete, total entry, avesha. It's not avesha, it's avesha. And then prema avesha. What sort of intense entry? It's an intense entry into prema, or with prema, or in prema. But here, it's not only prema avesha, it's maha prema avesha. So that kind of underlines the phrase gudha lila that we got in a previous verse. He's in serious, we might want to say serious ecstasy. And he's on pilgrimage. He is going to a place of course, the place of Krishna. And so we can say this is a kind of primordial pilgrimage, because it's the Supreme Personality of Godhead going to the home of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's God going home. Bhatte jaite bhattacharya shakamulat phala jahan jay payin tahan loyin shakala. Along the way, Balabhadra Bhattacharya collected all kinds of spinach, roots, and fruit whenever possible. Shakamula phala. So, Balabhadra Bhattacharya is Lord Chaitanya's assistant. Now, there's a bit of a mystery to me. If I understand correctly, it's mentioned, maybe it's in the beginning of this chapter, that there was one additional assistant, and he is not named. And we don't hear anything about him, what he does, He never speaks. So, in any case, Balabhadra Bhattacharya is with him, and he is helping out with practical matters like collecting sabji, as we would say, shakamula phala. So we can picture Lord Chaitanya and Balabhadra going through the forest and finding all kinds of nice things to eat. This place where I am, this Ayurvedic so-called hospital, it's surrounded with trees, everywhere trees, and bushes and plants. It's very, very beautiful. And I just heard today the organizers of this, the leaders, have collected over the years 400 different plants and trees. So this is a kind of botanical garden here. They've collected from other parts of India and planted here. Oops, we just lost our electricity again. Okay, that's all right. Okay. Jay grame rohen Prabhu totai brahmano panchasata jana asi kore nimantran. Whenever Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu visited a village, a few Brahmins, 5 or 7, would come and extend invitations to the Lord. Now, this is going to be a kind of running theme that will also come when Mahaprabhu comes to Vrindavana. These places are not unpopulated. I mean, jumping ahead a bit, Vrindavan, of course, is not so far from Mathura, and Mathura has a very ancient Brahminical community, worshippers of Varahadev. There are, I believe, 2 Varaha temples, very ancient temples in Mathura. I always think someday I'm going to visit those temples. One devotee told me he did visit them, and it was very nice. Okay, but we're not in Vrindavan yet. We're somewhere on the way. And in these villages, there are also Brahmins. And they are somehow appreciating Lord Chaitanya as presumably as a sannyasi, and they want to honor the sannyasi, so they invite him. Keho anno ani deya bhattacharya stane keho dugda dadi keha grita kanda ane. Some people would bring grain and deliver it to Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Others would bring milk and yogurt, and still others would bring ghee and sugar. Even sugar they would bring. Sugar, of course, you know, we hear sugar and we immediately think of white crystal sugar. No, it wouldn't be like that. It would be more like gur or jaggery, this brown, very nice cane sugar that's boiled down. As I've sometimes said, I think that Krishnadas Kaviraj was quite concerned about food, as he refers to it a lot. in Chaitanya-charitamrita. And here he seems to be concerned, how was Lord Chaitanya eating while he traveled? And he's reassuring us, don't worry, he was eating quite nicely. People were taking care of him on the way. Jaha vipranahitaha shudra mahajan asishabe bhattacharya koreni mantran. In some villages, there were no brahmanas. Nonetheless, devotees born in non-Brahmin families came and extended invitations to Balabhadra Bhattacharya. Okay, let's read this purport. It's going to have to do with categorizing Brahmins, sannyasis, eating, who do you eat with, who do you not. Actually, a sannyasi or a brahmana will not accept an invitation extended by a person born in a lower family. However, there are many devotees who are raised to the platform of brahmana by their initiation. These people are called Shudra Mahajana. Shudra Mahajana. This indicates that one who is born in a non-Brahmin family has accepted the Brahmin status by initiation. Such devotees extended invitations to Balabhadra Bhattacharya. A Mayavadi sannyasi will accept an invitation only from a Brahmana family, but a Vaishnava does not accept an invitation from a Brahmana if he does not belong to the Vaishnava sect. However, a Vaishnava will accept an invitation from a Brahmana or Shudra Mahajana if that person is an initiated Vaishnava. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself accepted invitations from Shudra Mahajanas, and this confirms the fact that anyone initiated by a Vaishnava mantra can be accepted as a Brahmana. One can accept an invitation from such a person. So these are the rules. Do we follow these rules strictly? I'm accepting prasadam from lots of devotees who are not initiated, but I would say like this, they're on the path, they're on track. And sometimes there may be circumstances where we make other sorts of adjustments. Where I am right now, you may wonder, how am I eating? How are we? There's several of us here, devotees, but we're not cooking. It's the local staff members here at the hospital who are cooking. I'm amazed at how nicely they're cooking. And they're cooking in very clean kitchen. And for us, Vaishnavas, devotees, they are specifically cooking without any onion and garlic. There's some preparations they will make in which they will add some onion and garlic for the other patients here. We have not a big crowd here. There's altogether, I don't think there's more than about 20. Yeah, I don't think there's more than 20 of us altogether, maybe a few more. Most of them from Switzerland. And you know, they're taking their meals and they like their onion and garlic. So we asked the cooks, can you please separate out before you add? And they said, yes, very nice, thank you. So they're very accommodating. And then before we take, one of the devotees with us, one of the brahmacharis, makes a little offering. A sort of makeshift offering, you can say, but under the circumstances, this is how we make an adjustment. Yeah. Okay, shall we read one more verse and then see if there's some discussion? Bhatta-charya-bhakka kore bhanya-byanjane prabhur ananditaman. Balabhadra Bhattacharya used to cook all kinds of vegetables gathered from the forest, and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very pleased to accept these preparations. So that's interesting that the vegetables would have been wild vegetables, presumably, not cultivated. And presumably, we're considering more than 500 years ago. First of all, there was a lot of forest and a lot of vegetation. And so there was a lot of possibility for cooking. What he doesn't say anything about here, which I would have been curious about, is how does he do the cooking itself? How is he, okay, you could sort of make a makeshift fire. Was he carrying a pot with him? How was he lighting the fire? What was he using for fuel? I would be curious about that, but Krishnadas, I don't think, goes into that. Okay, well, let's picture Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Balabhadra in the forest. So there's no crowds. They're just two, maybe three of them. And Lord Chaitanya is in Maha Prema Avesha as he's traveling. And they're traveling by foot. Would Lord Chaitanya be wearing some sort of shoes or sandals? It's not mentioned. When we see pictures, he's barefoot. Would he have been traveling barefoot? I don't know. Something to be revealed. All right, so let's see. Is there some... Oh, okay, practical question. What's the name of the clinic? This is called Veda-Sudha Ayurvedic Hospitals. You can find on the internet, Veda-Sudha, S-U-D-H-A, Veda-Sudha. The CEO of this program was here. He lives in Switzerland, and he was, or he maybe still is, here in Kerala visiting family. He's from here, grew up here. Speaks fluent German. Very nice guy. And I was very knowledgeable of Bhagavad Gita. He can quote, he knows Bhagavad Gita very well. He teaches his kids also. And I asked him, because most of the staff here are Christians. They're very, very pious people. Two of the masseurs, because most of the therapy they're doing here is oil massage and herbal massage. And there's a little team of masseur therapists, young men. And one of them asked me, when did you get up this morning? And I said, oh, I got up around 4 o'clock. And I asked him, when did you get up? He said, I get up at 4. And then another of the therapists, next day I asked him, when did you get up? Yeah, this morning. I asked him, when did you get up this morning? And he said, I got up at 3:42. He gave me exact number, 3:42. So they get up, they do sadhana, they pray, and you know, they're very. There's a lot of sattvic atmosphere here. What was I saying? Anyway, so that's the situation here. Oh yeah, I was saying that the CEO, the chief executive officer, who is, I don't know how the whole thing works in terms of organization, but he's in charge of the whole project, Dr. George. And so I was chatting with him and I asked him, so you are from Christian tradition? He said, yes, but he said, when I was 15 years old, I gave it up. And I took up Vedic study because I found it so much more comprehensive. And he said he then went to Rishikesh. He joined some ashram there, and he was living there for 12 years. So like that, these people are very, yeah, there's this sense of dedication here to what they're doing, which is very, very supportive, I would say, of the whole process. So what else? Yes, I'm here now. As I said, I've been here for a week, and I'll be here another 2 weeks. So I think we can have a session again next Saturday. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, on the 14th. And I'm still here on the 21st. So there you go. Then the next week may not be possible because I'm going to be in Puri and I don't know what is going to be the situation there. So that's the news from here. Divyambara, were you thinking to come try out this Ayurvedic clinic?
Yes, Guru Maharaj, just one moment, let me put my camera. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Dhanyavad. I'm about to start teaching a cooking class.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just curious because people often ask me where is a good clinic.
Yeah.
That is sattvic and, well, they use the tradition in a practical way, not in a blind way.
Yeah.
So I'm really glad that you're taking care of your health, Guru Maharaj. This is... Wonderful.
Yeah, I had absolutely no idea to come here. I've sometimes, over the years, I've heard various devotees saying, yeah, I went to Kerala for 2 or 3 weeks and did some Ayurvedic treatment. Usually what we hear about is panchakarma. That's something I don't think they do here. They never mention it. It seems like there's many different varieties of Ayurveda, because they don't even seem to be too much concerned about the pulse. One of the doctors one day sort of felt my pulse in the typical way with 3 fingers, but he felt it for about 5 seconds, and that was it. What they go on is what you tell them. You have an interview on the first day. They interview you, and every day one of the ladies comes and tests for blood pressure and your pulse and what is it? And temperature, and that's it.
Well, as long as it works for you, that's great.
Whatever works. That's what Srila Prabhupada said when it comes to medicine, whatever works. Yeah. Oh, now the fireworks are going on outside because the local Catholic Church is celebrating their anniversary of when they were founded, which I don't know how many years ago that was. So, yeah. All right, so let us end there. And I want to wish you all a wonderful week. And chant Hare Krishna and be happy. Yes, let us chant nicely. Maybe that's what I can do. I have 2 minutes. Let's end with verse number 2 of the Manasiksha of Raghunath Swami, which goes like this: Nadharmam nadharmam shrutigana niruptam kilakuru braje Krishna prachara paricharyam ihatanu sachisunum nandishvarapati suttatve guruvaram mukunda preshtatve smaraparamajashram nanamana. Indeed, do not perform any pious acts prescribed in the Vedas and supporting literature, or sinful acts forbidden in them. Staying here in Braja, please perform profuse service to sri-radha-Krishna. O mind, the son of Shachi as the Sri Guru as the dearest servant of Lord Mukunda. So nice. Perform profuse service. So we should remain in Braja and we should perform profuse. He's pleading to the mind, please perform profuse service to Sri Radha-Krishna. Jugala-bhakti, as Bhaktivinoda Thakura called it. Okay. So on that note, thank you all very much. Thank you for joining, and we will see you next week. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
HH Kshetra Maharaj ki jai.
Jai.
Oh, maybe I should ask you, Chandrika, do we have a meeting tomorrow or Monday?
Le tengo que preguntar a Chandrika, ¿tenemos mañana?
Guru Maharaj, I couldn't hear you. What did you say? Can you please say again?
Do we have a meeting about Govardhan?
Yes, we will have it tomorrow at 5 your time. I didn't confirm to you yet, but yes, we will meet tomorrow. Thank you.
Okay, yes, 5 o'clock is okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Haribol.
Hare Krishna.
Muy bien. 1 minuto.